Well, hello everyone. How are we doing? Gosh, who do we all got in here? I saw Tiana, I saw Furs, or Antelope, whatever you want to go by. Grot, saw you in here. Thank you for the diamond, by the way. Tiana, thank you for resubscribing. Appreciate it. Who else do we got in here? Looks like Tennis Shoes is in. Mosh, how's it going? And so far, looks like that's about it so far. That's right. We'll pick up the pace here just a little bit. So I did want to, we're going to get into a little bit of news, not a whole lot of news. But I did have a story that I wanted to read to you guys that has come to my attention, and I think it's kind of interesting. It'll put some perspective on what we're looking at in the future here. And it's about the Universe 25 experiment. And for those of you that don't know, this was an experiment that was ran with mice back in the late 1960s to the early 1970s. And it was basically what would happen if you gave mankind a utopia? If they didn't have to worry about anything and you just gave them everything they could ever want. So, between the late 1960s and early 1970s, an American ethologist, John B. Calhoun, created a seemingly perfect utopia for mice. Calhoun's predator-free, disease-free enclosure was furnished with limitless food and even an upper level with miniature mouse condos. Essentially, the mice would enjoy all the modern comforts people have come to expect. But the rodent society, dubbed the Universe 25, would quickly prove to be far from paradise. In the beginning, the experiment, Calhoun introduced 4 pairs of healthy mice into the enclosure. For the first 104 days, the mice explored their new habitat, marked their territory, and began nesting. Then the population began to increase, doubling every 55 days. Interestingly, even when the population was well under a quarter of the enclosure's capacity, most of the mice still crowded together in select areas. Eating, for example, was a shared activity, so mice would group together during feeding time, even though there were plenty of space to eat by themselves. By the 315th day, the population reached 620 mice. Crowding behaviors discouraged mating, heavily contributing to a drop in birth rate. Universe 25 would now begin its slow but steady decline. A prominent social ladder quickly took shape. Within the male population, the most dominant mice were characterized by their extreme aggressive behavior. The so-called alpha mice would often engage in wildly violent bloodbaths, proceeding to attack, rape, and even practice cannibalism at the expense of their peers. Disturbingly, these violent outbursts usually had no clear provocation or motive. On the opposite side of the spectrum were the least socially adapted mice, who were completely excluded from mating. They spent their time moving between large groups of mice, eating and sleeping by themselves. Occasionally, these mice would also fight one another. Any mice that fell between the groups were rather timid and often became the victims of violence perpetrated by their more hostile counterparts. As the social role broke down, the females took on a more aggressive attribute. Taking care of their nest in the midst of such a chaotic domain was no easy task. So many mothers would sometimes act violent towards their own litters. Others would completely withdraw from their motherly responsibilities, ignoring their litters and quitting mating practices entirely. Day 560 marked the beginning of the end, sometimes referred to as the death phase. The spike in mortality rate fluctuated at around 100%. Halting population increases altogether. However, the new generation that did survive had grown up in a tumultuous environment that was the Universe 25. The mice had no perception of the normal lives that mice led beyond the enclosed walls. As explained in Thomas J. Elpel's Roadmap to Reality, studies have consistently revealed that an absence of social stimulus and maternal care leads to a high rate of physical and emotional retardation and mortality. In the context of Universe 25, isolation paved the way for a new category of mice that Calhoun called the beautiful ones. These mice were segregated from others. The bloodthirsty mice and the violence that plagued the rest of the enclosure. Their subsequently unruffled appearance was the inspiration for the name. Furthermore, being separated from the rest of the Universe 25 mice, the beautiful ones made no contributions to the society. The mice gave no help in mating, mothering, marking territory, and etc. Instead, they spent all their time feeding, drinking, grooming, and sleeping. Eventually, the beautiful ones outnumbered the more aggressive mice. Still, rather than mating or creating new roles in the Universe 25 society, the beautiful ones continued to exist solely for their physiological satisfaction. With everything provided for them in the enclosure, the paradox of the beautiful ones revealed the self-destructive patterns that emerge when living a life without purpose. Soon, because the collective identified towards mating or building a sustainable society, the mouse population began to die out until there were no mice left at all. So I ask you, does any of that sound familiar? And what phase are we in? Dr. Jeff B., how's it going? Fire Soldier, I see you're in. Sergeant Bob, good to see you. How many of you have heard of the Universe 25 experiment? I'll tell you what, it doesn't bode well for the direction we're heading. I don't think, anyway. Maybe I'm incorrect in my thinking. It turns out when you give people everything they want, or animals, or whatever, everything they could ever want and not make them work for it, society collapses and slowly dies. It's been proven numerous times And yet that, I don't know, to me that appears to be the way that some people in today's world want it to be. And I think if they just did a little educating of their own selves, they might figure out what happened. Or what would happen. Oh yeah, there's tons of experiments ran on, you know, how a utopia just falls to pieces, but I don't know. Came across that article and it was interesting enough. I wanted to share it with you guys. So now, don't know how I want to quite do the news here, because I'm at the point where, well, you know what? Let's just have a discussion. What do you say? We just have a little discussion. Give me just a second, we'll get everything set up here, and we'll just have a nice little talk amongst us, the normal people in the world. Yeah, little news and comment. How's that sound? All right. So let's see. Let's just get it all out on the table here. We have the Afghanistan debacle that the State Department is finally saying that they may have actually screwed up a little bit. I did. And yeah, it's not good. So you have the State Department that, well, someone there is going to be resigning soon. I can guarantee you that, because someone has to fall on the sword to make this all go away for them. Which, I hope it doesn't go away. I hope that it sticks in the craw of the American people for a long, long, long time. Because it needs to. You just had a president commit one of the most egregious acts I have ever seen. Now, mind you, I've only been around 40 years, but I know history pretty well. And looking back, I haven't been able to pick out anyone president that was this stupid. And it can't be stupidity. That's the thing. I think he's getting a pass by everybody thinking he's stupid. When this all started out, I remember making the comment, and I think I made it on here, that somebody needed to check into the Biden family and see if they by chance owned anything to do with a Chinese lithium-ion battery producer. And the reason I brought that up is because Afghanistan is rich with lithium. And guess who's in line to buy it all? At a extremely cheap rate. And come to find out, the Biden family does have some withholdings with a Chinese company that happens to make lithium batteries. It's actually Joe's brother. But yeah, all in that same tribe. And God help me, if this all happened just to line the pockets of one man's family. Like I said, I think he's getting a pass by claiming his stupidity. Because even if he is that stupid, there has to be someone in that White House or in that State Department that would stand up and say something. And it would appear that the rhetoric is everything is just awesome. They couldn't have done a better job. It's not possible. No one could have done a better job than old Joe. Papa Bear, absolutely. And I can guarantee you that next war is going to be with China. And I don't think it's going to be 2 years. Because eventually the whole love affair thing will wear off. The question is, will it ever be on our shores instead of us fighting a foreign war? That's the only thing that kind of spooks me. Because right now it's poised pretty good to be on our front doorstep. No, it'll be a proxy war. You know, won't be directly between us and China. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but to think that the man could stand up there at the podium and say, "I will not leave any Americans behind." And then think that evidently the American people can't do math, which I'm beginning to wonder if they can, because when this all started, they said there was possibly 10 to 15,000 American civilians in Afghanistan. And they brought 5,000, I think they said, home. And then came out in the paper saying that, by God, we got 98% of them home. How's it going there, MT Grizz? Nice to see you. So evidently I can do simple math. Because they're now stating that there's only hundreds left behind. Yeah. The only thing you got to worry about is if we're drug into a war via our allies. Which, obviously, we've already proved that, well, with this president anyway, your allies don't really mean anything, so I don't know if there's a snowball's chance in hell that we'll end up in a war backing an ally, honestly. I can tell you that the America that I'm living in right now is not the America that I grew up in, and it sure as hell is not the American that my grandparents grew up in. And I don't know at what time this fully breaks down. But right now, the United States of America is an embarrassment on the world stage. And the bad part is, I don't think it bothers the people in charge. So, but that's quite enough about Afghanistan, I guess. Because meanwhile that we're talking about Afghanistan, we're not exactly watching what the other hand is doing. We've had another abysmal job report as far as job growth. We can drive around all over town and find help wanted signs. I think the last time I looked, McDonald's was starting people at $15 an hour. And that's here in Montana. So why do we have such an abysmal jobs creation rate? I wonder. We're shoving trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars at this problem just to try to fix it. And for instance, I believe it was just reported, I think it was last night. I think they did it though. I think it was Friday night at 4 o'clock is when they did this, but the Federal Reserve's overnight reverse repo window has had some changes. And for those of you that don't know what the reverse repo window is, it's basically so your bank has to cover its basically cover its paper every night. And if it can't cover its own paper, it goes to the Federal Reserve repo window, which is not a good thing. You don't want to go to the repo window. And you basically have to ask the Federal Reserve for an X amount of money to cover that line of paper that you can't cover yourself with liquid funds. And we can get into a whole spiel of what they all have to cover, but the Federal Reserve bumped up their repo window to $500 billion. The Secretary of Treasury gave himself power to adjust that number up or down as he sees fit. And they figured out how to switch it from a 24-hour repay to a 30-day repay. So they've already done all this stuff. And then today, I think, Yeah, today. An article comes out, and it's in Barron's, which is a financial, fairly reputable financial site. A debt ceiling stalemate could push reverse repo demands to $1.4 trillion in the next 3 months. So he gave himself, permission to be able to increase it. And now they're coming out saying that they may need $1.4 trillion to cover the banks. If the House and the Senate don't figure out how to increase the debt ceiling, because we just don't have enough money flowing out of the federal government quite yet. We need to ramp that up to make your dollar worth less. I watch a gentleman on YouTube. His name is Canadian Prepper. He had just a short blurb, and I don't know how many of you folks watch him out there. He's a pretty good guy to watch. He's not, he's not dig a bunker and go hide yourself forever type guy. But he was talking about a letter that he'd just received from one of his distributors, because he runs his own store. It's CanadianPrepper.com, and he has the freeze-dried meals and the tools and all that kind of fun stuff. It's actually a pretty neat site to go look at. But he got a email that had some fairly scary verbiage in it. And he wouldn't say exactly which company it was that sent it to him, but he said he had received actually multiple letters in this same idea. But the one stated that in order to get products to him, it's going to take somewhere between 6 to 12 months. Because they are very supply short. And they started the letter off with, as you know, there is an extreme breakdown in the supply chain around the world. And I think we've been talking about this. And hopefully you guys have been getting ready for a little bit of a shortage issue. But I didn't realize how bad it had gotten. And as this company explained to him, not that he was kind of coming up with this stuff on his own. He was reading it directly off of this letter that he received. But they explained to him that a standard shipping container coming from China to either the California, Seattle, or Vancouver ports used to cost this company about $3,500 per container. Which, when you think about it, and you stack that many containers on those big container ships, it's still a pretty good chunk of change, but $3,500 a container is definitely doable. That same container is now costing $28,000. That just gets it to the port. Now you have trucking on top of that with fuel costs, the whole 9 yards. And who exactly do you think is going to pay the increase in shipping costs? You think the company is just going to eat it? What? Almost 8 times, actually almost 9 times more expensive shipping bill? So your dollar is now officially worth less and getting worse. Price of goods is going through the roof. You haven't seen it yet, but you will. Actually, I can't say that. There's some things you've already seen. Some things have went up 30-40%. The other thing you have to look for is what's called shrinkflation. And shrinkflation is basically when you're buying it mostly happens in food production. But when you're buying prepackaged food, if you could have a chance, compare an old can or can of food or an old can of green beans, something like that, to a newer can that you buy from the store. AG, nice to see you. You may very well notice that there's a few less ounces in that can. Can's the same size, just a little light. So, prices go up, the amount of product you get goes down, and we pay in the end. So hopefully you guys have been listening. Hopefully you've been stocking up when you can. Don't break the bank on doing it. Cash isn't king anymore, but you still need it, so don't go that far. But yeah, I just don't know. Don't know where this is all going to settle out, but I guess we'll see. I guess I could be the eternal optimist and say everything's just going to be hunky-dory. Believe me? Probably not, huh? So, this is Wednesday, and Wednesday is Prepper's Corner. We're going to have a little bit longer show today, just because, we weren't here Monday, so we want to get caught up on some things. But, yeah. Let's fire up a little Prepper's Corner. What do you say? Okay, you have to give me a little bit to get this all set up here. Can only have so many windows before the computer goes, But, let's just see. I found a few things at, well, actually, let's start with that. How many folks out there have a Costco close by them? I needed to figure this out earlier anyways. Tell you what, let's do it this way. We'll put a 1 if you have a Costco and a 2 if you have a Sam's Club. Go ahead and put it in the chat. One and two, 2 and a 2, okay. So we have a few more Sam's Clubs out there than Costco's. All right. Well, I found a few things at Costco that we'll take a look at. And then maybe, let's see, maybe Monday we'll set a run up for, yeah, hour or so drive. Yeah, that's me too there, bud. Yeah, let's just see here. A few of these fun things I found. Alright. How do we get zoomed in here? Let's take a look. Let's just go this way. And cover my ugly mug up a little bit here. Alright. So these are going to be a little pricier. Yeah, I'm 100 miles from nowhere. And time don't matter to me. Anyway. So the first one I found is this Furman 7500 9400 tri-fuel generator. We've already talked about this one. Right now, last I knew, there was $100 off of this also. Now, I don't know if that's still viable, but you know what the heck. Even at $1,000, that's a pretty stout generator for what you're getting. You know what, it's just weird to see my beard at the bottom there. Well, hold on just a second here. We're just gonna go, I think, there we go. That's better. All right. For those of you that do any of your own processing of wild game, anything like that, or if you're storing long-term food items, this MaxVac Pro Chamber vacuum sealer, this little bugger right here, is about $500 cheaper than anywhere else I can find it. $599. I know it's expensive, but keep in mind this is a professional series vacuum packer. It's a little more than just your food saver vacuum. This one does it a little bit differently. One nice thing about these chamber style vacuums, you could vacuum liquid. So if a person wanted to do like a soup or a stew, something that you couldn't do before in your food saver without having like the can style sealer for the mason jars and all that kind of fun stuff, you can do it with these MaxVacs. I've used one of these for quite a while. They are a very good vacuum packer, and we used them a lot in the butcher department, so they last quite a while. The other thing we have is a Furman 2900. Now, one nice part about this one is it's only a dual fuel, but meaning it runs gasoline and propane. But it's 2900 running, 3200 peak, so it will run quite a bit of appliances. And it's quiet. That's why it's so expensive. It's one of the quiet running models. $899 for that one. And this last few things I found, they're more for, let's say if you get stuck in the car, or if you're having to travel to get to where you need to go. If you know what I mean. The Waterport Day Tank. It's a 3.8 gallon portable self-pressurizing water system. One thing I like about it is, one, it's not electric, You pump it up to pressurize it. 2, it's black. Why I like it being black? Because on a nice sunny day, you have hot water. A Massimo 30 quart, 12 volt portable cooler. Now they call this thing a cooler, but you might as well call it a mini refrigerator. $329. It's $80 off right now. And it'll keep what you absolutely need cold. The Maya Pioneer large 2-person rooftop tent. This is nice. These mount directly on top of your ladder rack or luggage rack, depending on what you have. They go right on top of a pickup, especially if you have a topper that already has rails on it. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Maybe I do. $1,500 gets you off the ground, especially when you're in bear country. It's nice to be up. And it's got a hard floor in it, so it's way more comfy. No rocks. God, I love it. These lovely little orange things right here, everyone should have a pair of these. $130. I don't know why you wouldn't. These are the Maxa Innovation Escaper Buddy Traction Mats. So, you ever been in sand? You ever been in loose soil, mud, snow, ice, and you can't get traction? You take a look at these here. We'll jump out of the cart here for a second and just take a look. A little better picture of them. Notice they're kind of ramp shaped already, and they have some very, very, very textured areas on there. That's going to help your tires get a grip no matter where they are. So if you cram them underneath the tires, just like this lovely picture here, 9 times out of 10 you can drive up out of there. Now some of these, and I think these are a pair, you can also use them to drive through a shallow ravine. Keep that in mind. But they're really cheap for what they do. And yeah, exactly. Work a hell of a lot better than cat litter. Cat litter will work, but you're going to be there a while. I don't know if they hold a tractor or not. Hell, a tractor, just wrap a log chain on there. It goes slow enough. And then we have another Massimo cooler. This is the 95 quart, quite a bit bigger. $900. But to have a refrigerator that's 12 volt, yeah, that's worth it. Now let's check out one other fun site. Hopefully you all have been watching out for my website. Some of you hopefully have been over there looking around. But there's one deal on here that, boy, I don't know. I ordered mine. I can tell you that. And right here it is, the Bubba fillet knives. Now the kit that I ordered is this Bubba Multiflex. It's the second one in from the top left. And you can actually change out those blades, and they're still a full tang blade. They go all the way down inside the knife. They are still the non-stick coating that the Bubba knives are popular for. The handles on these things are amazing. I have 2 of the fillet knives already. They hold an edge well. And right now, that kit alone, let's see if I can fit it on here correctly. Yeah, that kit alone, you can just make it out there. That $53.72 is 59% off on Amazon right now. Yeah, the cordless one, it's awesome. Yeah, that one's 44% off right now. So if you guys can, head over to my site. You can click on the link. It's under the Get 'em While They're Hot. We had a few things on here. Look through there. I'm sure you'll find something for you. If you like what you see on the picture, just go ahead and click on the photo and it'll take you over to Amazon to where you can order it directly. Yeah, I try to sit every night and get a list together for you guys of what I think. Oh, these were actually pretty cool. I don't like the name of them. The Dookie LED camping lights. What I thought these would be good for is, tying around your campsite area, so you're not tripping over your cordage and stuff like that. Your outrigger lines for your hammocks, and you could clip them inside. It's a nice, not blinding light. But yeah, for $11.88 for 4 of them, I didn't figure you could go wrong. Yeah, see, Dookie. For those of you that don't want to carry around a big tactical looking pack, here's a good option for you. This is the G4 Free Sling Bag. So it's a crossbody bag. It can be worn in front or back. For $14.44, you can keep most of your essentials in there. Looking at the dimensions on it, a pistol would fit in that bag. So, not to give anybody any ideas. And now some of these deals may be dead. Oh yeah, that one could even go under clothes. It's small enough. You could throw it under a heavy coat pretty easy. And these are today's deals. This is what I found as of about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So these should all still be pretty live. Now these bottles, I wanted to explain why I put these on here. I understand these are not top of the line, high quality, good for everybody. Yeah, there you go, AG. You've been using the Ozark cookware for 2 years. I gotta be honest with you, Tiana, I was not impressed. And I don't know, they have changed the design on them, so I got the new set, and way too lightweight for me. If you get, and I know it's expensive, but if you guys really want an extremely good cook set, I would lean towards the Stanley, I think it's Basecamp 4, and it's a 4-person cook set. It has a not the new one, because the newer one is nothing but pots and pans, but the original Basecamp 4 has a frying pan in it, a 3-quart, I believe, stock pot, and then plates and, well, it's a plate bowl kind of combo. Plates and bowls, drying rack, cutting board, silicone heat mat, and I believe a bunch of sporks and stuff. Yeah, they do burn easy. Well, they're thin, they're lightweight. I mean, that's what I didn't really care for them. I was concerned that, especially if you're cooking on the coals on a fire, with your setup, you need light. Are you guys backpacking in, or if you are, then yeah, they're a good option to get started with. I would lean towards some titanium in the future, but yeah, I know it's expensive. That's the bad part. But anyway, these bottles here, I know they're cheapy, know nothing, throwaway bottles. And the reason I put them on this list is not for you. I don't want you to buy these for you to use. What I want you to do is buy these to store for, let's say, friends and family when an SHTF situation hits. Yeah, that would definitely lightweight would be important. And your friends and family have to come to you and finally say you're right. They're also going to be looking to see if you can lend them anything. I wouldn't do unwanted visitors. But you can, if they're going to, let's say, worst case scenario here, let's say you're setting them up to go out on patrol with you. Checking out the property. They're going to want a canteen. They're going to want all that kind of stuff. They're going to want some way to get some sort of water. These, really cheap. $14.50 and you get 6 of them. And it keeps them out of your more expensive stuff. Because the old adage is still going to apply, that if it's not theirs, they don't care, kind of thing. Hey, Olive, nice to see you. Got some polarized lenses for you. Fairly cheap, good to keep around. Yeah. Here's a nice collapsible fishing pole. I think I set this one at, it's just shy of 7 foot long when it's expanded. And it comes with a little bit of gear, not a whole lot. But for $56, what do you expect? Now, it's $56, but there's currently a coupon that you can also clip for another 15% off. So that gets it down just under, what the heck is that? $46? Yeah, GSI it's a little heavier duty though than the Ozark Trail. Not much, but a little. The Fairwind Tactical Rigging Belt. I do like this belt. But I don't use it to hold my pants up by any means, because the pain in the butt is, if you do it that way, you need to string this through before you close the webbing into the buckle. Because the buckle is too big to fit through the belt loops. What I do though is I leave one of my retention holsters for my 9mm on this belt, along with a few other things, and I just use it as kind of a lightweight gear belt. So what I can do is throw this on over the top of my, my coat, whatever, click it in, tighten it up well enough where it'll hold itself up without having to be in belt loops, and I'm good to go. Here's that lightweight bag again. Now this was kind of interesting. The Saygogo. I don't know what Saygogo is, but inflatable car mattress. What I like about this is it goes in the second row seat instead of all the way across the back, so you don't lose all your storage in the back. Now, mind you, it's going to tighten it up a little bit. You and the significant other are going to have to snuggle just a bit, but you'll be all right. But for $39, I mean, come on. What the heck, right? If anybody's looking for a heavy men's winter coat, which is coming up, that is windproof and rainproof. Pretty good deal on this, and I set it at my size, so it's a 3XL, and it's still only $65.98, so tough to beat that price. Oh, we got the old fan favorites there. Got a Sawyer mini deal. Sawyer squeeze. Yeah. Oh, and actually this, the Mora knife right down here on the bottom, that's one of the spark knives. So in the end of the blade, or in the end of the handle, it has a ferrule ferrule rod for you, so you can strike a fire with it. not in the snuggle in their yoga pants. This is a camping sleeping pad with built-in pump up at the headrest. Now, I'll tell you right now, I ordered this little bugger. And if you look really close, I'll see if I can highlight it for you. Right down. Well, actually, we're going to go into here. Hopefully it doesn't show any of my pertinent information. See if it's still going on. Because I don't want to tell you guys wrong. It may not show it because I've already ordered this. But there is a coupon code right now that gives you an extra 45% off. Anyway, there was when I ordered it. So I got that mat for $14. Well, Tiana, here's a question for you. Do you hammock sleep? Well, no, never mind. You sleep in an ultralight camper, don't you? If you're a hammock sleeper, these come in handy too. It's cold enough. He's 90s Cummins Island. Oh, buzzsaw. The Cavacor Camping. Here you go. This is actually a really good Chinese. I can't believe I'm saying this. A really good Chinese mat. Great hammock. It's a double hammock, so it'll hold a fair amount of weight. 772 pounds is what they're claiming. It does have the ridgeline built in. Outfitter's tent. There you go. Super comfy. If you've ever used a hammock, I'm telling you. If you haven't yet, you need to. You need to give it a try. Great hammock, $23.79. You really can't go wrong. It gets you into the sport, gets you used to using it. At least you can check it out a little bit and see if you even like it before you go and spend a bunch of money. But I have two of the Cavacors, or Cavacure, depending on how you want to say it, and they've been awesome. And last but not least, of course, we have another backpack. The Rebo Tactical Multiple Backpack for 3-day. I mean, it's a $28 backpack. If you guys watch these two, you can get into them cheaper than this. It's just right now it's as low as they got it, but good little backpack. Holds a fair amount of weight. I have one pretty similar to this. I don't have the Rebo, but of course, I'll tell you right now, all of these backpacks are made by the same company. They're just a Chinese company that'll rebrand it to whatever you want them to put on there. But for, like I said, for under $30, it's a good pack. So, yeah. That's all the fun we have there. Did you guys see anything on there that you just couldn't live without? If you did, head over to my website and click it. And there's some, fun stuff on there. There's some camp recipes and stuff like that on there. Hot deal of the day that I have bought. Old school. One of these. Actually, I bought 4 or 5 of these. It's a handkerchief. Or, as they call it now, the cool kids call it. Which cooler was that one? Oh, there was 2 coolers. One was a 95 quart and the other one I think was a 30 quart. Well, here, you talking this cooler right here? The Massimo? Or were you talking That cooler right there. The CX30. It's a Massimo cooler. And they are at Costco. So yeah. Massimo. Do I have an email? I do have an email. So I will put you, let's see here. It should be. Trying to remember. I think it's 406 Montana Free at gmail.com, but I'm going to make sure here, and I'll put a link in the chat for you. Yeah, well, I said that totally backwards. It's Montana Free 406. At gmail.com. There you go. And you can email me there. If you really want to get my attention, you go down and click that subscribe star. Sorry to be that audience member. Oh no, that's fine. Well, let's see. What the heck time is it here? It is 8 o'clock. Oh, I did want to show you guys. Yeah, I forgot all about this. And I haven't had a chance to even look them up to see if they're still even available or not. I think they are. But have you guys ever heard of a figure 9? It's a little thing put out by Night Eyes. Didn't show up on DLive? Oh, man. Okay, hold on a second here. I will put it on DLive manually. In just a second here. All right. It show up that time? All right. Let's see here. I got to move some stuff out of the way. So is everybody ready to get to tie in some paracord? Y'all excited about that? Do you care to be excited about that? Kind of surprised I haven't seen Uncle Krusty yet. I know he was wanting to be in on it. But that's all right. We'll start without him, and keep in mind, guys, if you ever miss anything on here, you can always catch it on the replay. So he's tack drunk. Uh-oh. Taco drunk. Oh, okay. Hey, Grot. Grot says he's ready for a little paracord. So what do we... Well, let's see. I think we'll start with another survival bracelet first. And then we'll show you how to tie up a little bit of a self-defense option for you. Tiana's good to go. Fur's good to go. All right. Well, let's just get to the DIY portion. let's do an audio check because I gotta have the microphone a little further away from me than I'd like. Can you guys hear me okay? Alright, so we got a 5x5 loud and clear. Yeah, we can hear you. Alright. Let's see if we can adjust that chat window. You guys are running into each other. Sports topics and debates. I don't know. I'm not really much into sports. What kind of sports are we talking? Their pockets. Anyway, come back to that. So this is the figure 9 that I was talking about. It's a super lightweight aluminum. Wrestling. But you guys, I'll see if you can focus on that. There you go. Nice little lightweight, basically clinch. And I'll show you kind of fictitiously before we start tying here what we got to do. All right. This little bugger. In here quickly. I can't do it without having a piece separated, so let's see. Well, we'll just burn a chunk of paracord for you guys here. What can I say? It's old habit. All right. So now, mind you, you're going to have a much longer piece than what I got here. But what you're going to do with this little bugger is we are going to go up this way, round, and through. Oop. Take that back, sorry. Now I'm trying to remember how in the heck you tie this thing. Up shrew and down over like, there we go. It goes in like that, right? Now you go around whatever you want to bind, right? And you basically cinch it down, come around, pull it tight, and it's got a set of teeth in there. Well, you can see that. There. And that grabs hold of the paracord. And it doesn't come apart. And it unties really easy. I cringed when you cut that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a sports fan, so I don't know if I'd be the person to debate you there, Pockets. Cuts bull calves. So tonight I think we're gonna tie up we're gonna do a fishing survival bracelet, and we're also gonna do a monkey's fist. Precisely why I wear boots. Barstool Racing. There you go. Let's see. Let's get started here. And we're gonna need, and I'm gonna tie this for myself, so I pretty well know how long I need it. And you guys remember I always do a doubled up. Burn these ends in right now so it doesn't unfray on you. Keep a hold as soon as you cut it. And you want to actually keep a little tension on it. See how I'm pulling down there? You can kind of see my nail turning colors. The reason I do that is to stop that outer layer of paracord from disappearing on you. Alright, so there's one link. It's about, well, let's see here. Yeah, we're just right around 7 foot. 7-8 feet, right around there. And since we're doing a fishing one, let's use some fishing colors. What do you say? Maybe some blue and green. Someone's still... Oh, that's right. I gotta do that. Yeah, it is like a cattail. It just kind of poof. Now the funniest part is I'm going to cut this all again. Okay, now we can sit back there and cool. What we do is we weld these together, just like we did before. So you're going to have two bare ends, right? Before they're melted. And you want to get a good glob on the end of these, so you want to heat them up a fair amount. And get them. And then we're going to put this together. Uh-oh. There we go. I'm going to give it a little roll. And look at that. Now we have multicolored paracord. Alrighty. Let's see, we're going to use a, of course, one of my Fire Striker bracelets. For now. Now, a little different color. It is not glow in the dark, just to let you know. Just a green one. Fire steel inside. Striker on the outside. Pull this away. Scratch off that nasty outside coating. And away you go. Ah. Alright. So now what we're going to do. Find our middle point here. Open the bracelet up. Lay it the way we want it to hit our wrist. You guys let me know if you're having trouble hearing me, okay? And we're going to fish one end through, up through the buckle, just like so. Pull this back. And what I do is I put that weld kind of back a little bit, somewhere in the middle of the bracelet, like so. You don't want it right up here in the center, because then all the torque of that bracelet is going to be right on that weld all the time. Okay? We're going to back that down a little bit. There. And now, lay this flat. Remember that our green is on one side, blue is on the other. Don't twist it if you can help it. Okay. And we're going to attempt to get this through. Okay. Pull the green through. And we're going to pull the blue, and we'll get our sizing. Okay. So make sure that we're on the right side. Push up through. Pull it around. We're gonna back that green down a little bit. This way. A little more blue pulled in. All right. Now we've double looped through here, single through here. What I like to do is come back up, give myself a little thicker bracelet since it's for myself. Put my green on the right side. Put my blue over. And I know for my wrist, we're looking about 6-8 inches. Oh, we already messed up. Got to pull that blue back up. See how it was coming through the top? Needed to go down this away. And we caught that before we started tying. All right. Tighten all this up a little bit. Thanks. Around. And we're going to give ourselves a little more room. There we go. Okay. Now to start this off, fairly easy tie. We're just going to go over. Okay. Green side comes over. Blue is going to go under the underside. Okay. And then it's going to come up through the loop that you made with the green. Ultraman says I need to move your hands forward. The camera back. Yeah, my hands keep leaving. Sorry, bud. I'll try to not do that. I think for your guys' sake, we're going to tighten this camera up just a little bit here. Let's just see. Ugh. There we go. That might be a little easier for you to see. Alright, so now whatever one you went over with, I started with green going over. Alright? We're just going to keep that going. Green over, blue under, and back up through. Basically, you want to make that knot. Okay? And tighten this knot up. And now we have the start. So now we're going to dress it. We're going to look at this side. Dress this all out. Up. Dress a little more. All right. And I can see that we're getting a twist for some reason in the buckle. Starting to go over on themselves, so we got to make sure that we keep that straight. Okay. Now, again, green over, blue around and under, come up through. Okay. This bucket wants to twist for some reason. Press the knots up, tighten them up. I like to pull up on this, snug them in real good. Okay. Now, mind you, I had somebody tell me that I wasn't going fast enough on this, so I'll speed the process up and you guys can kind of watch what I'm doing. Now, at this point is where I would start thinking about hiding some stuff in this bracelet. So, we're just going to keep going a little bit. Again, we're going to pull it tight. And I think the first thing we're going to do, I've made up this little pack of hooks. See in there? We're going to try to get this started into the bracelet. Now, we're going to flip this over and we're going to change our pattern a little bit. So blue will be going over, green will be going under now. We're going to bring blue over. Now, I can tell you from experience, it is a pain to get anything started inside of here. I'm going to come up. If the straw package doesn't work, we're going to cut it open, go to something that's a little more grippy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, we're going to change things up a little bit. Everybody can hear me all right out there still? And can you see what we're doing? I guess let's go there first. So I have some marine shrink tubing. We're going to use that to hold our hooks. We probably don't need four, well, probably don't need 4 hooks in the survival bracelet. All I'm doing, first making sure they're gonna fit, okay? And we're gonna just take a little piece of this tubing. And really, I don't mind if the eyelets stick out. I'm more concerned about getting the hook end covered, because that's gonna be the part that really screws up your day. Comes out of the bracelet. Now, we're going to give these a little shrink. Second here. Always keep your Leatherman close by. Now, since they're marine grade, you may have a little glue that you got to take off of these. That's all right. At least it's going to stop corrosion. You won't have that problem. And if you're like me, you always got a knife on you, so. Now, we're going to just embed this in a little bit. And we're going to start tying over the top of it. And just kind of gently asking it to stay where it is. Fix your glasses with shrink tubing. There you go. All right. Tighten this up a little bit. Do a little adjusting here. got one more turn on this. Now, for you guys that are still wondering about the knot, we're gonna go blue side over, under the green, okay? We're gonna take the green side under, over the blue, okay? All right, now we got hooks set in there. 2 hooks for you. Now, what else do you need for fishing? Of course, you need some weights, right? How about we do, I think, 4 16th sinkers? I mean, you're not going to be catching northern with this thing, right? We're going to gently ask them, ooh, well, they might not fit in that one. I'd have to go up a size. By the way, I always buy these shrink tube kits at Harbor Freight. Don't forget the worms. I don't know if I could put a worm in here or not. I could try. I don't know how that would go. So what I'm going to do is just shrink the end of one of these down a little bit, get it closed up. And we're going to drop 1 sinker in, down there to the bottom. 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to trim this off a little bit. Take our Leatherman so we don't burn our fingers. Get a hold here and start shrinking. Alright, now they're pretty well shrunk up in there. We're going to close up the end the best we can. And start another fun tying process here. Start the knot and then put it in. All right, so over, under, up through. And this knot we're going to leave a little loose. We can get this little bugger in there. Tighten up that end. And now we're going to start tying again. Okay. Got a good start on that. One nice part about that shrink tubing is it's going to be a little bit flexible. It's going to allow it to come around your wrist a little better. Now we have 2 hooks and 4 sinkers. All in this lovely bracelet. Now, what else should we put in here? What else do you need for fishing? Well, and technically, once you tear the bracelet apart, you could use the inner cords of your paracord for fishing line. But you know, I just so happen to have a little bit of braided line. So let's put, I don't know, what do you think? Need a reel? Well, that's what a branch is for. Or a stick. One thing I was going to mention, if you guys ever do use a stick like a cane pole, since you never know what size fish you're going to tie onto, and we're using 30-pound braided line, so your line ain't gonna break. Well, before that stick gives up anyway. So what you may want to do is do a half hitch over the length of the branch. And kind of work your way up. And eventually we'll have an episode where I show you how to do that too. That way, if the tip breaks off, it does not necessarily mean you're going to lose the fish. Because if so let's say this is your stick and the tip breaks off here and you have a series of ties coming all the way down, just going to break to the next tie, you still should be good to go. So now there is a certain way I like to tie this fishing line just so it doesn't become a tangled mess when you take it out. It's called a figure 8. Use it in rock climbing a lot too. Basically, it stops your cords from going together. They lay one on top of another. And we got about, I don't know, 15 feet of cord here. And to be honest with you, this is the biggest pain to get in the bracelet because pieces stick out everywhere. You got to be a little careful with it. Pinch in the center. Try to get your fingers out. Oh. What I've learned to do, take a small piece of Scotch tape. Kind of go around this the best you can. Hold all those ends together. And then of course we get a lash started here to fit it underneath. All right. We're going to get a few lashes on this and then we're going to try to pull it down so it doesn't stick out so bad. Like so. There we go. Goes up good. Alright, in this bracelet now you have 2 hooks, 4 sinkers, and about 15-20 feet of line. I'm now off screen again. Sorry. That better. So see how we got that bedded down up in there? Gonna keep tying here. Again, over, under, over. Whip yourself in the back of the forearm with it. Awesome. Sure. You guys tell me if I'm going too fast, too slow. And thanks for letting me know when it goes off camera. I'm looking down and not looking at my screen, so. Oop decided to try to come up and get out of the way. Alright. No, sir. Get back in there. Leave room for the canoe. The canoe and the worms. Alright. Now, since we have a fire striker on here, you know, we have the little ferro rod and striker on the other end. We should probably put some sort of some sort of material for this to catch. And let's just do our old fan favorite here. Little jute cord. Good stuff for a flash fire. You still want to make sure you have adequate amounts of tinder. Okay. This will at least get a fire started for you. Need a frying pan too? You guys are optimistic that you're going to catch fish. We need a frying pan. Alright. So we're going to do 5 little links of jute cord here. I'm going to bury that close to the end here so you don't necessarily have to untie your hole. Getting caboodle here to get your fire starter out. Oh yeah. You know, it's funny you say that, but cattail actually isn't too bad to cook up. It's a lot like a russet potato. Alright, now we got the jute cord bound in there. Tighten that up. And let's see, I'm trying to figure out how I can stay on camera for you guys here. We'll go upside down for a little bit. I'll see if I can tie this way. Nope, that ain't gonna work. It just doesn't seem normal. Tighten them up a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see if I can give myself a little more room on the desk. There we go. Now remember, we started off with a little over 14 foot of cordage. Looks like we're going to come in right at about 12 feet. You'll have 12 foot of cordage with you. You'll have 5 dry fire tenders, 20 foot of cord for your 20 foot of line, Your fishing line, 4 sinkers, 2 hooks. Fire starter, survival whistle. And what they claim to be a knife, but it's a horrible knife, so I wouldn't use it. Right here in the end. It does alright for a fire starter, or a fire striker. Not a knife. Alright, looks like we can get a couple more wraps on here, and we're going to be about done. Tighten that up, give us as much cordage as we can. We're going to buckle a little bit. Might get 2 on here, might just be 1, it looks like. We'll see if we can make some room for another one. Ugh. Might get 1 more turn on there, we'll see. If not, we'll have to take it off. Yeah, it's a little bulky for a wrist, but well, we got 1 on there. Look at that. All right. So now, a little big for a wrist, but you know, if you're going somewhere where you need it, throw it on a pack, throw it on whatever. Good to go. Fat farmer fingers. Alright. So now, seal this up. We're going to do trim the ends. Burn them a little bit. A good melt going, and then we're just gonna push them down to where they're on there. That way all you gotta do is break that weld when you want to use it. Okay. Same thing over here. And don't throw your trimmings away. Actually, we'll do a quick impromptu zipper pull. Different tying method than I showed you just now. Now, I go back over and make sure there's nothing too sticking up, nothing that's going to catch you. There you go. What do you think? Myself, I would clip this on like my belt loop. Use it to carry. It actually bends pretty well in most spots. And 12-foot of cord. So now you got these ends left over here, right, that are just junk. What we're gonna do, seal up the ends quick. Made Montana by Montana, there you go. So let's pretend here you have busted a zipper. And you want to make an impromptu zipper pull. Okay? You're going to lace your cordage through where your zipper pull was. And we're going to do a snake knot. And you're going to start this knot by turning in and under itself like so. Okay? We're going to go down the hole like that. Okay. Around backside. Back down the hole again. Look something like so. And then we're just going to proceed to start dressing this up. Whenever you hear me say dress it up, this means tighten the knot up, make it look So that's what you're going to start with, okay? And then you're just going to proceed to keep doing that. So, down the hole, round. Oop, my hole got too tight. And we're going to tighten all this up again. You're just stacking a series of knots, okay? Again. Loop over. Down through the hole. Around. And my welded end is getting caught here. Down through. Tighten up your lines. Dress your knot. There's a zipper pull. Nip your ends off down here, melt them into the bottom side. Down here. We'll just do it. Now, you have pretty minimal loss on your paracord. What I do is just push these back in, square them up. Same thing on this one. Melt it down. In on itself. Like being in the Man Scouts. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There's your zipper pull. What I like about these, and actually I've changed out some of my bags already. Up here, where it gets cold, when you got your heavy winter gloves on, you can get a hold of this zipper pull and get your bag opened up without having to take your gloves off. There you go. Nice little zipper pull. Well, should we get on to the more violent section of this topic? Something that if you're not allowed to carry a weapon, still works as a really good weapon. Oh hey, I wanted to show you guys how I make these little straw packs too, since I'm putting the hooks back in. It's really simple. These are just oversized regular drinking straws that I got from Amazon. You take your pliers, squish the ends down as flat as you can get them. Plenty sticking out there. All you do is take a lighter, melt the ends like that. Wait a little bit, let it cool. You'll see it turn back color. And there you go. You got yourself a watertight, easy container. Nice and small. Something else to look at. Hey, we'll do this one too. Got 2 sinkers in it, but what the heck, we'll show you how to do it anyway. I use this for my ultralight first aid kits. I put a lot of my, like Benadryl, Tylenol, aspirin, all that kind of good stuff in these. Whoop. It disappear. Color back. There you go. All closed up. Doesn't get much simpler than that, does it? Well, thank you, Ultraman. Now, let's see here. We got one more to tie. And this one is a little more in depth, so hopefully you guys stick around for it. What we're going to tie is a monkey fist. And for those of you that don't know what a monkey fist is, you'll find out tonight. And what I like to put in the center of my monkey fists is a 1-inch steel ball bearing. It hits with a little bit of a authority, you could say. Let's see, what color do we want to make this? How about blaze orange? We haven't used blazed orange in a while. So on this one, you're gonna need a fair amount of cordage. I gotta be honest with you guys, I usually don't measure a whole lot. Just easier that way. I can always use the spares or the pieces. Now when I buy my paracord, I buy my paracord in large quantities, so if you're buying the smaller stuff, you know, the smaller spools, you might want to be a little more aware of how much cordage you're using. Actually measure it out. Alright, so Monkey Fist is a little tricky, I'll be honest with you. This tie it'll test your patience at times, and we're going to do it live, so we'll see how that works out. So what I'm going to start with is just a simple 4 wraps around my fingers. Okay. On the 4th one, you're going to go down. Okay. And now you're going to start wrapping in on itself. Now what you want to make sure, you're going to be pulling a lot of cord here. You want to make sure that you're keeping all of these in line, stacked. Make sure that they don't kind of fold over themselves, okay? We're going to run this again. Make sure we're opening it up because that's where our ball bearing is going to go here shortly. Yes, exactly. This is not weapons crafting. This is meat tenderizing 101. I like that. All right. So we have 4 wraps there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wraps here. Now this end. Okay. Got our 4 wraps. 4 wraps vertically and 4 wraps horizontally. We're going to feed this through just like so to finish the 4th wrap on this side. Okay. Just like that. Now we're going to take this ball bearing and we're going to fight it because I'm a little too tight. So I'm going to take this hitch out. Yeah, I can open that up a little more. There we go. Come here, you. And now this is the part that gets a little tricky. We're gonna go through our top loop. Okay. On that side, so we're keeping with our 4 pattern, right? And now, oh, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. We're gonna go back through our bottom. Catch that loop right there. And this is the part that'll make or break your monkey fist. So we're gonna fish this around through here a couple of times. Make your 4. I'm out of screen again. Sorry. This is not an easy thing to hold on to here. Just feeding this through for 4 turns. Now, we're out here, we're already lost our double over. Now we're back on track. Back up. Yeah. To let you guys know, they make a little helper for doing this, but I wanted to do it without my stand. You don't necessarily have to invest in one at home. You can do it without it. Tell you right now, it's not fun. But I think, luckily, we're on our last turn here. Oh, don't do that. Get out of there. Okay, so we got 4 stacked there. Like we got to make one more roundy round here. To come through the top. And now you should have a mess that looks something like this. Okay. You can kind of already see your monkey fist forming here. We're going to tighten this down one side. Okay. We're gonna start working this bugger around here. Pull this side. Go. This side up. Side around. Now this is the lengthy part of this whole process, is tightening everything up. I'm gonna do we're gonna get these pulled tight. Oop. You can see it starts to form a little case around it. Okay. Oh. About lost the ball on that one. Tells me we need to tighten these up a little. Too tight. Back them off. All we're doing is just fiddling here. Trying to get everything tightened up as much as we can. Fun part is remembering which way the lines go. Uh-oh. Gotta flip over. Yeah, that one's on the wrong side. Be in the middle. There we go. Don't get in a hurry with this process. Some turns. Tighten that side up. And just keep working it around here nice and slow. But don't get in a big hurry. Keep trying to center that ball up. Which way is that bugger? Coming straight up. We're getting closer here. Yeah, see how you're getting kind of a bit of a monkey fish shape there. You can see the knuckles. Okay. Is like that center section needs to be tightened up a little bit more. We'll give it a little snug here. Which way are we going? No. Getting that, pulling that paracord a little tighter every time. But we're about maxed out, it looks like. Okay, you can get the general gist of this, right? Now, we got to put a handle on this. Remember that knot we were just doing? That snake knot? I think that'll be a good one for this. Mind you, I got a mile long worth of cord here. The bad part about paracord, it will get a twist in it every once in a while. We want to square that knot up so it's coming out just right. Just like so, I think. And then we're just going to continue down the little rabbit hole here. The reason I use a snake knot on this is because it is flexible. It makes a really good handle. See the knot there starting to form. We're just going to tighten it up a little bit, just like so. Okay. Now they're starting to stack up pretty good. I don't like the twist that's showing up in that. But we'll keep going. I'm gonna have to pause for a station identification here pretty quick because my dog appears to think she needs to go outside. Oh, this is getting to be a twisted mess. Hold on. What do we got going on here? Hold on. We need to take some stress out of this paracord a little bit. Let's not twist now, you bugger. You can see how it's kind of forming there. Is anybody asleep yet? Oh, wait a minute. came together. All right. So you're getting the general gist of this, right? So. Mary P. See ya. We are making a camping meat tenderizer. Yeah, exactly. Making a monkey fist. Are you guys getting the gist of this yet? Don't worry, the music will start soon. Oh, you want to know what's in the... Oh, okay. That's what's inside. A little easier to put in your pocket than a cue ball there, AG, but yeah, same idea. This would be a good little, well, let's say you got a daughter going to college. You know how colleges are these days. This is something that she can carry. And I guarantee you, if you land it, it's gonna hurt. Made one of these for my wife, being a school teacher. It is a pretty good equalizer, I'll say that. One nice part about mace is it gives you some distance. This isn't going to give you a whole lot of distance. This is going to be, well, when they're closer than what you can get with your mace. I wouldn't recommend not carrying mace. Keep them kids in line. Well, not quite that bad. You can kind of see how that handle's starting to kind of come together. I will say one thing, I've had people walk through mace. I've never had somebody walk through getting hit with one of these. Aaron, good to see you, bud. We're making a monkey fist. No, it's not a weapon. It's a meat tenderizer. Like Ultraman said. Ultraman, thank you for the gift. Aaron, welcome to the shit show. Now you can see you got a nice bit of a handle there. We're just going to keep going. You can make this handle as long as you want. Aaron, I'm glad to hear it helped. Well, it's a stainless steel ball bearing. And if you look closely, see it inside there now. All right. So, we're just going to keep this fun little bugger in our pockets. That's why, yeah, it may bounce back when you hit, so be ready for that. And that's why I tend to keep a shorter cord on these. This, we're really going to melt the end in. I don't care if it looks pretty. I want it to stay closed. Now you'll notice something about that snake knot. It has a little bit of an elasticity quality to it. Okay? That gives you a fairly decent purchase. Like Ultraman said, you gotta be careful because it can come back and whack you. Or if you miss when you swing, that comes back. You want to follow through with this. Don't slow down. There you go. There is a monkey fist mace, basically. So, tonight we have monkey fist mace and the survival fishing paracord bracelet. Last week we did the fire cord bracelet. This one's doubled over. It actually has twice as much cordage as this one here. Twice as much tinder, of course. So, giving you a few options. Well, thank you, Tindews. Thank you, Mary. You want to make sure you hit what you're aiming at. Dynamic. Well, I don't know if we should go that far. You can do dynamic fishing with PVC pipe and match heads. It's yeah, bit of a controversial show, but we can try it. So, any questions on the knots? Any questions on what we were doing? Tell you where else these little zipper pull ties come in handy. Well, let's see. I think I took mine off, but The lanyard holes. You want just a small lanyard cord, but be able to pull it out of your pocket. Yeah. What do you guys want to try to tie up next? Oh, I shouldn't. Loaded question there. I can even show you how to do them without a clasp. Snake knot bracelet with a crown knot. The end. Holds pretty good. Your X. Yeah. Fun little buggers. So if you guys, well, if you're wanting to get into paracord, I can tell you what I'll do is I'll build a paracord page on montanafree.net with all the tools and stuff that I use. When you start getting into the more elaborate knots, you'll need a FID for this. And what's nice about this one, it comes with paracord needles. Give you an idea of the difference in your paracord sizes that you can get. 550, 330, some ultralight. But these are to create basically a sewing needle. Now, I'll show you how to do that quick. Want to make sure that the tip of your paracord is pointed. And these actually have threads on the inside. I don't know how well. Put your paracord on, start turning. And you have yourself a threaded piece of paracord. Needlepoint. So, good that. Like I said, when you get into the more elaborate knots, that's good tools to have. I'm kind of starting out with the, well, I don't know, the monkey fist is a little more of a troublesome knot, but these are all pretty simple. Yeah, paracord FID with needles, a good lighter, butane, good sharp pair of scissors, and supplies. About all you need. You could use it for stitching, actually. You're gonna have to open up a pretty decent sized hole. They don't have a real sharp point. And for you ladies out there, if you wanted to have a bracelet, you know, like this, but maybe not so big and bulky, and you just wanted to be able to carry some cordage with you, they do make quite a bit smaller paracord if you don't want to do the heavy stuff. This is a version that's 275. So it's a 4-strand cord. Trying to see here if I have, and then we can get into more elaborate knots like this box knot, but something different there. This 4-strand cord is really good for that fisherman's knot bracelet that used to be so popular. The one where it doubles over and you got a knot on this side and a knot on this side, and it's just simple adjustment. Yeah, it's pretty stout stuff. I mean, it's 275 pounds working strength, so I mean, as far as setting up like a makeshift shelter. Makes a good ridge line. And then if you really, really want to go tiny, believe it or not, this is micro tactical cord. And it's basically just the outside layer of paracord. Has no inside strands. That's super, super, super small. But I actually had a gentleman ask me if I could tie up a ring. And this is the stuff I'd done it out of. He had a paracord. A paracord ring. And if you're so inclined, we can do that too. And of course I have it in desert brown, comes in camo, and just good old-fashioned black. That's the colors I got anyway. Yeah, maybe we'll do some little more feminine bracelets for you gals out there. I mean, maybe you want to wear something that size, but be twice the size of anything else you've ever worn. But any questions on what we've tied so far? And Tiana, I must have missed your question. Oh, where do you get the clasp? Yeah, I get them off Amazon. Sorry. Thank you, Mary, for... You were here for the last show when that was asked. Anyway. Well, I think we're going to say goodnight to some folks out there. Let's see, it is 9:30. So, for all the folks out there that don't let me have any fun. How's Tiny the Bull doing? Yeah. Tiny needs to go to the slaughterhouse. Yeah, you could make paracord purse straps. Like I said, I made a shotgun strap. That's, I don't know, 5 foot. Can I do the monkey fist again? Oh. Ultraman, are you serious? I can tie the monkey fist again on the next show. We're going to change up a little bit because we're close to 9/11. We're going to do a little bit of a patriotic show. It's going to be a D-Live only, so we can play some music and talk and reminisce and try not to forget about when that happened. But yeah, we can do the we can do the monkey fist again. I can do it on. Why don't we do it on Monday? A double thin cord bracelet. Okay. Now, when you say thin cord, are you talking the micro cord or the 4-strand? Are you talking this stuff or this stuff? The 4-strand, okay. Yeah, we'll do the monkey fist again. We'll do a different, maybe a different take on it, we'll see. In fact, do you guys want me to start the music up, or ladies, do you want me just to tie a small 4-strand bracelet quick? I'll leave it up to you guys. And we can go a little later tonight, too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this one right here is doubled up for that reason. You can take the outer layer off, get your fire core and your tinder out of there, and still have, a bracelet left over. Yeah, if you guys want, it doesn't matter to me. I got everything out. Either I can tie it up now, or we can tie it up next go around. If you ladies want to see a smaller one, see if it's more appealing to being able to wear it around every day. Side by side on the clasp. Oh, you're talking one here and one over here? Kind of stacked. You can do that. The only problem with them is they get awfully flexible. So Tiana says yes. Mary says yes. Are you guys, everybody all right with that? Do we want to tie up one more bracelet? Doesn't matter to me. A dainty one. All right. You want it just one color, or you want two color? We can do, let's see, we can do a blue. I'll get everything out. And do red. I don't have a whole lot of this near the smaller cord. We can do a fire. I have kind of a lighter green. Oh, well, this one's not a mess, but we can do a silver, like a dark silver. And I don't have any purple, Tiana, I'm sorry. And a white. What two colors you want? Well, red and blue make purple. Do you want to do that? Blue and the light silver. So this silver here, this is actually kind of a gunmetal silver. Blue and silver. Okay. Two blue and silvers. So, get rid of the rest of this. And let's see. See how big of a rat's nest I got here in this silver. Oh, not too bad. Well, shouldn't have said that. I usually retie my hanks. These ones I didn't. And I'm paying for it now. Usually I do that twist knot that I showed you with the, or twist tie with the fishing line. Alright, and you guys wanted it doubled up, right? So one layer over the other. So now I gotta ask you, do you want the blue to be the prominent color, or do you want the silver to be the prominent color? You know, they used to sell pretty well. Then, of course, China started making them, so Yeah. They still sell, it's just the amount that they sell for is not really enough to keep my attention. Alright. Those ends sealed up here. Then I can get rid of one of these off the table. Oh, let's see, ladies. How much did I pull off here for you? 4, 8, 12. About 16 feet of silver. Now let's find the blue ends here. And we'll pull a fair amount off for that. Like I said, I don't usually measure much. I probably should. There. 4, 8, 12. Pretty much the same, 16. All right. Okay. So we're going to weld these up just like we did the last ones. You need 2 fresh ends, kind of fuzzy. We're going to burn these in really well. Just gonna stick them together. Just like so. And now you have your loop started. Oh, do I have any nice small clasps? Oh, I got a few left. All right. Little dinky clasp. You know what? We're going to burn them one more time. They didn't weld very well. Only downfall with the really thin stuff, it does have a tendency to not want to weld up very good. All right. This one I'm going to start a little different. Since we're doing nothing but paracord, it's just a simple loop over. And we're going to come down this way, right a ways. And we're just going to fish those up through. Making sure to keep the buckle on the right side. The blue on the right side. Silver on the right side. Pull everything back through. To set your sizing. You gals have a fairly small wrist, I have to remember that. So back this down. Oh. Probably right in there. Thinking. Oh. Okay. I can't remember. Did we want the blue first or the... Want the blue to be the dominant color. Okay, so starting out then, we're going to start with silver being your dominant color. When we make the turn, then we come back over the top of it with blue. Nice. So the first knot you're going to leave kind of loose. Going to start running line. Now we can kind of snug everything up once you get two started on there. Okay. Yeah, you can do it with different sizes. Actually, that micro stuff, I've laced it through this to kind of give it a different look. But never the full-on knotting. I guess we could try that one of these nights. Well, ladies, we lost some viewers here. Yeah, if you don't alternate your knots, you know, when you come up and make your turn up here, it'll be the silver on top. But this is, I gotta admit, this is a pretty cool looking bracelet. Oh, if you don't alternate, then your silver is going to end up on top. But to be honest with you, it looks pretty cool with silver on top. Now, here's a crazy idea. This one's a small enough buckle if you wanted to. The blue's on that side. Silver's up here. So you could, if you wanted to, oh yeah, my wife has a few of these. And my son. Still gonna make a dog collar one of these days. I think Grot and Ultraman have given up the ghost. They went home. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I know a gal that makes dog leashes, like full-length leashes, and horse reins. Not a paracord. Let me tell you, a horse rein takes a lot of paracord. Nah, you're here. Alright. Well, you know how it is, Ultra. You gotta make the ladies happy. They wanted to see a small one, so. Well, a small bracelet. Smart ass. Well, that's why I had to oblige, you know, it's the first time I ever heard that, so. Ooh. Don't mind me if I'm not explaining this. I'm just trying to hurry through this one. So does everybody have the knot down, or do I need to close in, or you know, zoom in on the camera so you can kind of see the process? You guys picked a pretty good color combo. Oh, got a cobweb now. Look out. Hold on. We got a rat's nest. What happens when you're dealing with strands this long? There we go. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, Mary, it looks pretty good. I gotta move my microphone, hold on. You guys still hear me alright? Sound check. Oh, tennis shoes, once you get the knot down, it's not hard. We ended up with our spider web again here. Straighten that out quick. There we go. What do you guys think so far? Looking good? Alright, so as we're getting tighter and tighter to the end here, I like to pull up on mine just to give me, so I got a little more room there, run a few more strands. Also stiffens the bracelet up because these will stretch over time and break in, and you don't want them too loose. Pull the hole through there. Snug her up one more time. I think we can get 2 more on that, it looks like. Let's run just one more. I'll tighten up that buckle. Okay. Now, we're going to rotate this because you guys wanted blue on top, right? As we come across, start the same process. Except now we have silver is our working end, so that's the end that's going to be moving. And blue, strand or our standing end, so that doesn't get pulled through anything. Okay. So when you do this first bite, I like to catch. You know, it's laying on that blue coming through right there. Now blue becomes your standing, silver becomes your traveler. Oh, the tactical hair clip? Yeah, I've seen those. Now it's up to you guys. Is this looking too bulky for you? And remember, it's reversible, so you got silver on this side. Well, and so here's what I want you to realize. This is looking bulky, but when you compare it to that one that's doubled, not as bulky. Yeah, if it was me, I'd have probably stopped at this first layer for a feminine look. Depends on how much cordage you guys want to carry. So, it's up to you. Do we keep going? I can tie it back or untie it out of here. Stick with just this one. On a close-up look of what it looks like. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I like the one layer better. So we're just going to pull that out. Now this is exactly what you're going to do in the field if you need your cordage. You'll see how easy this comes back apart. Pretty darn simple. You loosen the one side, of course, naturally the other side's loose too. Alright, there we go. See? Pretty easy to come back apart. Now we're going to do the same thing on this one. Put it close to the end. Burn it in. Weld it on. All you got to do is break that. And there you go. We'll get you a little close up here. Better light on. Nice. And you still ended up with, oh, there's about 8 feet of each color in here. Like I said, if you wanted to, not as comfortable because that bumps up on you a little bit. Personally, I like the gray side better. Looks pretty good. Yeah, comparatively, so this is a single strand technically. Got some stuff inside. You can tell that 550 cord's a little bit thicker. Just a titch. I should do is have a drawing for the all the lady subscribers out there. I can mail that to you pretty easy. Pretty light. Don't weigh much. Guys, sorry you're on your own. See, that's kind of cool too, that silver over the blue on the edges. Yeah. Good color pick, ladies. maybe we'll do that. I'll see if I can get a list of the subscribers. We'll do a random drawing for you guys. Oh, a small one inside with... The problem is when you double them up, well, you can tell on this one. You see how you're catching the bumps, I guess, or the ridges on the edge here is actually separating your cord. So the smaller one, I don't know how it would lay on there. We could try it though. I've never done that, so. Yeah, when I used to sell these survival ones, I was selling these for, I think I was getting $20, was it? And that was for the, I think I was 25 for the fishing one, because I had a little more cost in it with the hooks and the weights and all that kind of stuff, and fun stuff. But yeah. Yeah, these two right here, and you're pretty well. I mean, you're on your way to a bad day if you got to use them, but at least you got them, you know. Even that little bugger. Gonna see, I did do a. Well, I don't know where I laid it now. So, when you're out fishing, right? And you're got your hook, having trouble finding a worm, anything like that. The other fun stuff that paracord does is it makes a really nice Malibu tail. Basically take your hook and feed it down inside of this. I mean, this is a little over exaggerated, I would say. I wouldn't do anything over that long. They can cut these center strands out, or you can leave them. But if you fluff that up really good, if anybody's ever fished with a Malibu jig head, that hair sticking out of the back that's fluffing around in the water, there you go. One for the dog would be an awesome idea. Yeah. Funny you say that. Let's see here. Yeah. 2 of those. I don't know how big of a dog you usually have, but make a dog collar. There's all the hardware you need. Tie this upright in these loops. It's going to be offset. Or you can tie it underneath like this. And use that for your clasp for your leash. And of course, instead of these, you have that and that. Other than that, all you need. And I buy that stuff at the local ranch supply. It's got tack supplies for horses. Anywho. Oh, we'll do a little, I guess, a little short amount of music here. I think we're paracorded out for tonight. What do you think? But in order to do that, I'm going to need to say goodbye to Trovo. Good night. Facebook, good night. Twitch, good night. We'll catch you later. YouTube, we'll